Yeah, Shake Shack is good, Gustav. I remember when the pandemic was going on, Chris and I went out. We'd been cooped up for like a year and a half, 2 years, and everybody was starting to finally open up their businesses again in the city. And we went. I think it was for Christmas or New Year's. We went and had Shake Shack and spent like $75 on like burgers and cheese fries and chocolate shakes and root beers, and we just got like it was like, yeah, no more lockdown. Woo! $75 in a hamburger joint. uh, Shake Shack's pretty good though. That's like a good international chain. But I do love my Subway, and I don't get Subway very often unless I go to the city. I also like Popeye's chicken. They have Popeye's chicken down here, but only in the city. Where we live, I've told this before, but where we live, there's no fast food at all. Not even local, not even national chains. There are no fast food chains where we live. None,
Don't
local
force
or
me to take this
international.
further.
So we get like the ladies that go out, they'll come to your door and be like, "Do you want tamales? Do you want tortilla, tacos, tamales, panuchos?" That's the fast food here. Or everybody's got a WhatsApp page, a WhatsApp that you can message. They do Facebook. There's like the local Facebook marketplace. That's if you want fast food where I live, you go to the Facebook marketplace and you look for the people who are selling tamales or something out of their house. That's fast food here. There's a couple of pizza joints. There have been some new. Chris and I did find. Um, we went for this has been a few weeks ago. We went and found there's a local place that does like they have a nice little restaurant. The people who own it live across the street. It's their second property, and they built a little restaurant on it. And it's got a nice view out over the river. And they do like wings and burgers and like onion rings and French fries and stuff. Um, it's not very good, but it's nice to go out of your house and just have a sit down where someone else cooks. Um, yeah, so there's no regulation here. So like what a lot of people do where I live, I should make videos on this shit for the other channel is what I really should do. I should just walk around my town. The problem is I don't like to show off. I don't like to tell people where I live because there are idiots out there who will take where you live and try to do malicious shit to you as a human being. I didn't have a problem with it when I lived in Cancun or Mexico City because that's a big place. You're never going to find me. I live in a small town. I'm like the only gringo here. So, if people find out where I live, it's not that hard for some psychopath to show up and be like, hey, where's the gringo at? I actually think there's several gringos here, but, you get what I mean. But so what a lot of people do here is they own a property. The back side of the property is where they live. The front side of the property is the business. And usually it's like they'll sell tacos or they'll do tortillas. They'll make tortillas or they will have barbecue barbacoa or they will do like cochinita. And so they'll cook in their own kitchen and then they have the front of their home is set up as a vending place right on the street and then they'll either sell directly from that and then they'll have a moped, a scooter, and that person will make deliveries. You make a Facebook page, put yourself on the Facebook marketplace, you've got a business. And there's no health inspections, there's no So I mean it's just literally it, that's and you have to live like why am I blanking? Anthony Bourdain. You just don't be afraid of it. Just embrace it. Yeah, you might occasionally get a bad tortilla or a bad tamale or something, but it's good. It's cheap. It's just home. It's people cooking shit out of their home. Um, but it's not like a restaurant chain or anything like that. You're just getting like so. There's two ladies that we get tamales from on a regular basis because they make really good. I don't even know what chlorinated chicken is, Hector. Um, Holy shit, Miller X. Let me get back to that question in a minute. I could blur certain things out. Yeah, I probably could. The problem is it's hard to pay attention to everything that's behind you because people will put like local phone numbers on the side of their house and stuff, and that's when people can track you down and figure out where you live and stuff. Um, so yeah, there's no like food like fast food here. Um, there's just like stuff like that. There are restaurants like I said, we found that one place. We found another place that does sea. They do like river because we have a river where we live. So they do like river fish and beers. And Chris really wants to go because she loves fish. So they do grilled fish over an open fire. So they have a fire pit and a chimney. They have some really big trees that shade their backyard. And guess what? They live right next door. So they live here and then took the other half of their property and they built a restaurant. So it's an outdoor kitchen underneath the trees. They've got obviously a rooftop and everything, like a brick, but it's an open kitchen, an open air kitchen. And then out front of the open air kitchen are a bunch of tables set up underneath these trees, and it's a little seafood. It's not even seafood. It's not. I don't know what you would call that. It's mariscos and pescados. It's not seafood though. I forget what the terminology is for just fish. Um, but it's like river fish, and you can get beers and fries and stuff. Um, So there are restaurants here. There's a couple of pizza places, which don't have the best pizza in the world, but it's not bad in a pinch. There's a couple of burger places that aren't bad. There's a shitload of taco places, but they're all just local businesses. Uh, so this is a really good question. Miller X asked this. Can I move to the United States and start working construction? Would I be able to earn $20,000 a month, or is that unrealistic? That's completely unrealistic. Completely unrealistic. So I don't know your experience level, but if you're coming in and you're a newcomer, you're going to be making. And I've been out of the construction industry for a long time, but I owned my own company as a third generation contractor for years. Um, Generally speaking, and I think this is true today, you can get a job in construction, and if you're entry level, you're going to be making $15 to $20 an hour. $15 to $20 an hour is what you will get paid to start, and you will work your way up from there. Um, my minimum, so my best months back in 2008, and I was a third generation contractor. I had 2 employees working for me, and I was in my 20s. Um, I was personally making, after paying my employees, I was personally taking home $6,000 to $8,000 a month on an average month. $6,000 to $8,000 a month after I paid my employees. So I was making between 70, like 70 to $100,000 a year, more or less. Just say $85,000, $90,000 a year was my annual income working construction, and that was no way it was at $20,000 a month. No way. Um, and that was with 20 years of experience. Um, so yeah, you're gonna make $3,000, $4,000 a month in construction if you're just starting out. Now, if you're union and you've got a license and you spend 10 years working construction as an electrician or a plumber or something and you're union, you can get to the point where you're making $8,000, $10,000 a month. But you're not going to make $20,000 a month unless you're the owner. And you're going to be need to doing a hell of a lot of business to make $20,000 a month. That's just not realistic at all. No. No. You're going to be looking at $4,000 a month probably. And that's, depending on taxes. Hang on. Final part of the process is wash the chicken in chlorine? No, 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 man. The way it is here is like all of these local people raise chickens. So We when we buy a chicken that we didn't take care of, we do most of our own. I don't think most anymore. I think about a third of the chicken that we eat, we do ourselves. Chris butchers our own chicken. The other 60% of the time or whatever, we're buying chicken from other places. And those places are killing their chickens the morning of. So they kill the chicken, pluck the chicken, sell the chicken within the next hour or two. A lot of the places where Chris goes and buys chicken, she will go say, "Hey, do you have any chicken available?" And the lady would say, "Come back in an hour. I have to kill it and pluck it." And so Chris will give her the deposit. She will come home. She'll go back in an hour. They will have a freshly killed and plucked chicken. So we are getting our chicken fresh out of the backyard. That's where we get our chicken. So there's no need to chlorinate and wash it and pasteurize it and do all that shit. That's commercial chicken. So if you buy your chicken from the grocery store, yeah, it's going to probably be processed in some ways. But most people are here, like there are one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I think there's 10 or 12 in within 5 minutes of my house. There are 10 or 12 places that I can go buy beef, pork, or chicken, and all of it has been killed this morning and cut today. And everybody does daily deliveries. So yeah, all of the meat that we consume is the day of, fresh today. That would be like a Muller X. What you're describing is a handyman, like a handyman, like it's a handyman is the word, a handyman. It's someone who does everything. They do electric, they do plumbing, they do carpentry, and they usually, if you're a good handyman, you'll have one guy you work for, and they'll keep you busy with all their projects. But that's pretty rare to find. Yeah, it's like 40 grand a year. Yeah, like 35, 40 grand a year, like Mithril said, is like the average wage for a construction worker getting going. Well, that just goes back, Hector, to like why I don't want to leave, like why I would never consider moving away from where I live. Like we have a very, I know some people will look at my homestead channel and be like, "Oh, you guys live in poverty," and it's like just because our place isn't pretty, like because I haven't painted the walls of my home and I have a dirt backyard with a lot of chickens running around, like what makes you think I'm living in poverty? Like I get I get fresh food every day. I have all my own eggs. I have a bunch of ducks now. We have a bunch of cats. Like it's the brainwashing that some people have gone through to think that it's brainwashing is what it is. Why would I want to trade this for like processed food and quadruple the cost of living? Oh, there's a patch? Maybe. Let me go double check the Xbox page really quick. Although they usually do the Steam patch before the Xbox patch, so. But just out of curiosity. Correct, Mithril. Yes. I know some people would be like, yeah, but it's only like half an acre or whatever. And I'm like, I don't care. It's paid for. How much do you own? What's that? You don't own anything? You're renting? You have a mortgage? You have a car payment? Yeah, let me show you this. I gotta pull this video up, Erudite. Hang on a second. This is a really funny thing, and I gotta go pull this up really quick. I gotta find my brother's TikTok. Uh, there's gonna be some music in the background here, guys. Possibly when I open this up. So I gotta find the video he did. He did this recently. Oh, TikTok's being cranky. So we have had we've had a good laugh about this multiple times on my brother's TikTok and his ranch page. So there is the misconception about demonstrative wealth and visual excess that Erudite was just saying on Twitch is a legit thing, because he's had a ton of people who have criticized and like said, you're not really a rancher because you don't have a $150,000 pickup truck. And he's like, bitch, I have a multi-million dollar operation, but my truck is paid for. Like, and I need to find, because he did a recent video because they just bought a new stock trailer, which is expensive, like, but they paid for it in cash. And I can't find the video now because TikTok's being cranky about loading. Um, but anyway, let me show this really quick. So I wish I could find the video, but it's buried in his TikTok feed somewhere. So this is my brother's TikTok, and it's not wanting to load some of the videos. So my brother owns a cattle ranch. This is his personal TikTok page, which he has 18,000 followers. He's monetized. He has put a lot of time. He's like 3 years into his TikTok journey. So he's doing what I do on YouTube, but he does for his ranch through TikTok. And then they have a ranch TikTok page. They have a ranch YouTube channel, but neither one of those are monetized yet. And I help produce the video content for the ranch YouTube and the ranch TikTok. Oh, here it is. I think this is the video.
I just got done installing this permanent tag on.
No, that's the one that he just did the tags. So he had a really old stock trailer. So a brand new stock trailer costs like $30,000, $40,000, right? So he had this really old stock trailer that he'd been using, which he actually bought off of my dad, that my dad bought new in like 1988 or 89 or something. So that stock trailer had been through the ringer. It had the roof replaced. It had the panels replaced. And they finally, this year, made enough money that he went and bought a new stock trailer. I wish I could find the video, but I'm not seeing it here. And some of these videos aren't loading right now because TikTok is being cranky. But I was going to show you the video because the thing was is we were talking about the Erudite said something, demonstrative wealth and visual excess. So he gets a lot of commentary on his personal page and on his ranch page about how he must not be a real rancher because he doesn't have a $150,000 pickup truck. And he had this video where he was specifically showing, like, here's my $150,000 pickup truck. And he has a Dodge. It's paid for in cash. And it's worth probably $35,000, I can't remember what he paid for it. I think he probably paid like $25,000 for it, and then he's put like $8,000 or $10,000 into it because he's his own mechanic. So he does his own upgrades and replaces all his own parts. I'm trying to reload and see if I can find the video, and I'm not finding it, so it's a lost cause at this point. But the joke of that video was, here's my $150,000 pickup truck. It's got 225,000 miles on it, but it's paid for. And then here's the brand new stock trailer that we just bought, which we paid for in cash. So it's like the idea of demonstrable wealth and visual excess is what leads many people to living in abject poverty, because they have to have the best to show the other people that they're living a good life, and so they have to have that big expensive truck, car, ranch, pickup truck, Tesla, Lexus, BMW, etc., etc., etc. And like he and I have had some really fun conversations about like the truck thing in particular. Like a truck costs as much as a house these days. Like, especially if you're trying to buy like a US made Ford or Chevy or something, they want $125,000 for a brand new pickup truck. And he's like, in what world am I going to go get a bank loan to spend on a $125,000 truck that loses half of its value the minute I drive it off the lot? Like, the minute you leave the lot, it's no longer worth $125,000. It's worth $60,000. The moment you drive it off the lot, you drive it half a mile and it loses half of its value. Like, that is the stupidest decision you could ever make from a financial standpoint. So, like, he always drives old beat up, not beat up, but like they have the ranch truck, which he bought for like $7,000. And then they have, he has his day to day truck, which he's, spent $25,000, $30,000 on, but it doesn't look like a successful rancher to many people. They're like, there's no way you're successful. You're driving that piece of shit. There's no way you're successful. He's like, all right, my banknote would say otherwise. All right. We have to prepare the altar for the ritual. Exactly, Erudite. It's unhinged to want to spend that kind of money on something. You could find a completely reliable used vehicle that gets you everything you need mechanically for a fraction of the cost. Yeah, so I get a chuckle when I've had people. It's been a while. I think it's been a couple of years, but I know a couple of years ago there was a group of people who were publicly mocking me because they had found my Homestead channel and they shared it during one of their streams, and they were mocking me publicly for having look at his little half-acre property. He's living in poverty off in the middle of Mexico because he can't actually make it in the U.S. And it's like, all right, you think whatever you want to think.
You'll fall to my sword.
My shit is paid for. I have, and I run away from him every time, Mithril, and I reload the game. I've come up against him like 4 or 5 times, and I just reload. I haven't found a way to kill him yet. I don't know if you need special weapons or if it's just meant to be an undefeatable foe. Yeah, exactly, Heinrich. Those guys, traditionally, most of them do live in their parents' basements. It's like either that or they're paying some obnoxious mortgage that's like $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month. My favorite thing of all time, guys, is when someone says, yeah, they'll say something like, I own this really nice house and I own this really cool car. And it's like, are you making payments on it? Well, I mean, yeah, but no, 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 no. You don't own shit. The bank owns that. Because if you get sick, or you break a leg, and you can't make a payment, they are going to come take that shit. You don't own anything. You are making payments to rent it. And the moment you miss a rent payment, it's not yours anymore. The stupidity of people who think they own something when they're making payments on it is, oh my god.
Have some spare food, Accord?
What's up? Is Blanca out? Okay. Parece dejaste de salir? Okay.
Have some spare food, Accord?
Yeah, only idiots trust the banks. Like, that's literally what it comes down to. Only idiots trust banks. Or banks and governments. If you trust the bank or the government, you're an idiot. Like, I'm gonna get a pension from the government when I turn 65. No, you're not. You might. Don't bet the bank on that. The clunk noise when you leave the lot is 20% falling off the price. Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse, Transcend, because I've been paying rent since I was 15. So I've always, and I never finished high school and I never went to college. So I've had to do a lot of shit to survive. And when you do a lot of shit to survive, you end up doing lots of things. So I have a ton of life experience. I've been relatively successful at everything I've done. Relatively successful. And I have not worked for anybody as an employee since I was 20, with the exception of one client who I worked for 2 years on contract, and then they hired me full time for a year, and then they got bought out, and that was my last project before I did this full time. And that was the first time I'd worked for someone exclusively since I was like 20. Um, so yeah,
Thank you, truly.
that gives you a lot of
You've
experience in a
already
lot of
done
different
so much
fields.
for me, but I must ask for one more thing. Your presence. This is something I can't. This isn't something I can face alone. Thank you. May the All-Mother guide us both.
All right, time to do a ritual. Even my most unsuccessful venture was still successful. Um, I've never, yeah, even my most unsuccessful venture, I still made money on long term. I didn't get the outcome that I wanted, but like, I still got something out of it, you know. But as they say, every failure is just a lesson on the road to success. It teaches you what not to do next time. If at first you don't succeed, try again.
The All-Mother's light will reveal the truth or burn it away. Are you ready?
Yeah, I had a tough stuff that others have to deal with. Yes. I remember I caught a lot of flack when I was running the MMO studio because there was all the press were making statements about how like it was a big deal that like all these people at like CD Projekt Red and Gearbox, I can't remember, all these studios, it was coming out that everybody was working like crunch, and everybody's talking about crunch is this evil thing. No one should ever have to work crunch, and I have a very unsympathetic view of that. Um, if a company is working, if the employees are working an unnecessary amount of crunch, that's bad management, and that definitely should be punished. But my perspective is I'm a business owner. My life is crunch. Because guess what? As the business owner, I don't get to take a sick day. I don't get to have a mental health day. I don't get to have, oh, my dog died. I need to take care of it day. I don't get to take those days because I'm a business owner. I have legal obligations that require me to fulfill my financial obligations no matter what happens. There could be an earthquake, there could be a tornado, I could lose my leg, I could get in a car crash. Anything can happen. I still owe someone money at the end of the month, whether it's the bank or an investor. Someone wants their cut. And as a business owner, I don't get the luxury of saying, I don't feel like working today. Oh, my mental health. And I get it, mental health days are very important. It's very important for people to have mental health days. But if you're a business owner, you don't have that luxury. And you lose the right to complain if you're a business owner. Like literally, you don't get to complain when you're a business owner. You suck it up and you get shit done.